Yes. Drinking water is always good. Just don't drink it too fast because that can cause hiccups. Well, hiccups are usually like, I think, doesn't it have something to do with like the spasm of the diaphragm because of like if you eat or drink too fast because you're swallowing a bunch of air, then that can cause it? Give children freedom, but not too much. Have to discipline them, but in a very specific way. Teach them technology, puts them in danger, and it's bad for them. Yeah. I honestly think it's just a lot of it stems from like each generation tries to make things a little bit better than how their parents raised them in a way that they often felt things their parents did weren't good, and so they try to do the opposite, but sometimes they go too far in that the opposite direction and they don't find a middle ground. So finding the middle ground is always the challenge I find of like that I hear from parents and stuff. It's really tricky. And I think also because a lot of people post online now, everything is open and out there, so people all around the world can see it and have all these conflicting opinions on parenthood. And if you're not completely middle ground, then it can be really hard to like even if you're completely middle ground, you're still gonna get hate comments, you know? So it's about finding that balance and also, yeah, just treating a child as well as you can, I think. Yeah, and that's the thing. Nobody knows what's going to result in what, because you're doing this because you don't want it to result in this. So you're doing it this way, but that way might result in another way. So you're kind of just like trying to find what works while it's actively happening. Not allowed to say the word naughty. Yeah. I think there's a similar thing with like if you look at like Montessori schools, you're not allowed to say things are good or bad. You're just supposed to like label the actions instead of what it like connects to or something like that. There's a lot of really that's definitely like on the further end of things. Warm, dry, fed, and loved. Just try not to raise a serial killer. You know what? I think that's a good as just don't let them become a serial killer. It's important that children can understand that something is bad. They need to be able to understand it. Yeah. I think labeling actions as like something being bad so that you can tell the difference between good and bad. I think maybe like yeah, maybe they're trying to avoid labeling um like naughty as well. Like they're trying to avoid labeling a person, in this case a bear, as bad or good based on what they do and trying to more clarify the actions that are good or bad. But if you're not allowed to say it at all, then it just gets so it's very tricky. And everybody has their own kind of theories behind what would be ideal, an ideal situation to raise a child in and everything. But even if you have this ideal thing in your mind, it doesn't always work out that way because different kids respond to things differently. You can say you raised, if you have like two kids, you can say you raised them the exact same way, but they're both going to turn out differently because they're different people. So your actions might have seemed similar to you, but they can't be raised